those things that they don't think about in their business, but they really should be. So like marketing, where Miranda's going to sit on that panel, and then Eli's going to sit on a panel about, focusing on building your Salesforce. So things they really need to think about to really grow their business and take it to the next level. They just don't have the time to do.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We have a great show today. Really excited about this. So Jessica Lombardo, who is the conference manager with AC Business Media, is joining us today. We're going to talk about the show Ignite, which is coming up in December. And I have Eli and Miranda here as well, who are going to be panelists on the show. So Jessica, welcome on. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I wish I was there with you in the studio.
Well, we wish you were too. We're going to make that happen. We're definitely going to make that happen. We were talking, so you run Ignite, but also Payx.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Maybe we can get you in the studio to talk a little bit about Payx when that one's coming up. But today we'll focus a little bit on Ignite. Will you tell us how'd you become the business man, the conference manager for AC Business Media? You said you were an editor there for a bit. I know you guys have like 17 different brands, publications. How did you come to start running the events?
Yeah, so you are right. AC Business Media is a media company. We have a lot of different brands in the construction space. So I was hired as editor of Asphalt Contractor and Pavement Maintenance magazine. So learned a lot about the industry over the years and really honed in on, what the industry needed. And so when we were talking about the Ignite Construction Summit and building that, we really saw kind of a gap in the educational space for that business owner. And so we thought, let's build this conference program and really dive into the needs of the business owner and bring them in a space where we can take that time and really give them the opportunity to focus on those things that keep them up at night that they don't take the time to think about in their everyday business life.
Sure, that's great. So Ignite's a little more focused on business owners and maybe senior executives, that sort of thing. And then Payx is going to be much more of an expo. Would you explain that a little bit to the audience? I thought that was pretty interesting to learn about.
Yep, absolutely. So, you're correct that Ignite is for the high-level business owner, and then Payx is where you'll bring your whole crew. So, Payx is going to have 60 hours of education that's going to focus on the tracks for paving, striping, sweeping, seal coating, and we will have a business management focus, but those are, high-level business classes. And then the courses for paving 101, striping 101, and then, digging deeper into, more of the logistics of running a crew. Whereas Ignite is going to really give, like I said, those business managers time to focus on those things that they don't think about in their business, but they really should be. So like marketing, where Miranda's going to sit on that panel, and then Eli's going to sit on a panel about, focusing on building your Salesforce. So things they really need to think about to really grow their business and take it to the next level. They just don't have the time to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll tell you, I went last year, which I think that was your inaugural, correct? For Ignite?
So we did have the very first one in 2019 in Las Vegas, and there were all of 17 people there. So shout out to the OG Ignite attendees there. But so then we resurrected it in 2022 in Clearwater. And so, yeah, we had about 100 people there. And so that was really a brand new revamped with the panels like you saw. And then so this 2023 will be technically the third year, but.
That's great. Well, yeah. I mean, what I got out of it most was the availability, like the networking was wonderful. And you had like-minded people. I thought, the panelists were all terrific too. The education sessions were great, but being able to just sit and talk and have a drink or, a bite to eat or whatever with other business owners, it's invaluable. You don't get that opportunity all that often. And, various experiences, various roles, a lot of people that were very good with sales and marketing and that sort of thing, a lot of great operational minds in that room. So, we're sending the whole crew this year because we really got a lot out of it. So, so it's December 6th through the 8th at the Sand Pearl. Why'd you choose the Sand Pearl?
So I think that a lot of people liked the sample when we went last year and they didn't realize how great it was. So everybody that we talked to, they're like, you have to go back to sample. We're going to stay longer. We're going to bring our families. And so people love the sample. They love it in December. It's a warm climate, and it really was a beautiful venue. And I help them, and to be able to do it in a space where it's more relaxed and not like the hustle and bustle, and they don't have their whole crew with them like they do at Payx, where they feel like they have to go with them and take them to dinners and things like that, where it's just them there and it's like a relaxed setting, I think is really what set Ignite apart from the other conference programs out there.
Yeah, agreed. So Eli, you're going to be doing a session on Friday. You got the 9 o'clock panel. It's called How to Train, Manage, and Utilize a Successful Salesforce. You want to talk a little bit about that, what you think you guys are going to be getting into and the other folks on the panel?
Yeah. So super excited for it. I've had the pleasure of learning from Brian Hess on our team and Todd on our team as well. And so some pretty notable, folks out there.
All good sized companies that
100%
built it somehow.
They've built it, and they built it in a way that, all of their cultures are directly in line as well. So, sales is overall, it's the lifeblood of business. And if you don't have sales, you don't have production. So, the whole engine kind of starts there. I'm a very, relationship driven leader on our team. I believe heavily in relationships. So
you think you'll share a lot of how you build those relationships with your team?
Yep.
Because I'd agree. I think that's your number one strength is that you care, but you show up for our team. I always say the guys. Now we have Paige on the team, so the team. And you're there for them. You're a great coach. You push them when you have to, but you get to know them and know what really motivates them. So you're going to share some of those tips.
Oh yeah. Tips, tricks, and everything in between.
Tips and tricks. Sure.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be very valuable, and cool. Looking forward to meeting the other guys on the panel and seeing all the other sessions as well.
Yeah. And what's neat is the way it's set up. So Jessica, you're moderating both of these, right? Both of these sessions that Miranda and Eli are doing.
Yeah.
And you're asking great questions. You have 3 people up on the stage. So it's pretty interactive. And I don't know, why did you decide on that format? Because I think it's a great way to deliver information. I really enjoyed it. What made you choose that as opposed to doing like in a classroom or one person speaking or something that way?
Yeah, what we found with the panels last year, it was just really brought a different way for the attendees to learn. It was super interactive, and we intentionally craft these panels with people from different areas of the country, different sizes of business, and different ways to think about their business. And so everyone in the audience can get something from the panel, no matter what size their company is, no matter what what stage of their business they are at. So they don't walk away feeling like, that company is way far advanced than I am. I cannot get to their level. So, we think that having a panel discussion is just a good way to learn from everybody and every aspect. And we thought bringing it back this year, we have an opening keynote again, and that's with Adam Smith, who is a Green Beret, and he's going to talk about not just setting goals, but actually having a target. Everybody can set a goal, but having a target is really important. And we're also going to have a closing keynote, which is different this year. But then those panel discussions are interlaced throughout. And that's just a really fun way to learn. And people can ask questions, in the middle of a panel, and they feel comfortable doing that. Whereas in a classroom setting, they might not feel comfortable doing that because, they have a whole group of people that they don't want to interrupt. But these panels are just really casual, really interactive, and just a different way to learn. We love that.
Yeah, that's great. And the people that you have on the panel, you get to see that personality, which is, that gives it a different flavor. It really does. They're not just kind of reading off a script or whatever. It's to some degree impromptu and engaging. So Miranda, you are going to be on the marketing panel. It's called Pics or It Didn't Happen, leveraging new marketing tools to grow your business. As a marketing person, do you think that's too long of a title? No, I'm just kidding. So leveraging new marketing tools to grow your business. What are you guys going to be talking about?
Oh, well, I mean, honestly, I'm honored to sit beside of Matt and Brandon and super early on in the conversation that they're going to bring just a different dynamic and a strength from like their team and their companies that I think will be super useful, no matter if you're just starting out or if you're, a veteran in the game. The diversity between the four of us was just, yeah, it was insane to have those conversations. We were already like learning from one another.
Yeah.
So we're just hype about what that's going to look like on stage at the Q&A session. Another, brilliant idea to bring that to the group. Yeah, I'm just excited to be sitting beside of them already, what we can learn.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah, I forgot about the Q&A session's awesome. That's really good too. It was really interactive last year. So are you thinking about this like from our your preparation?
Yeah, so I think it's really important that everyone gets to take something from the panel, whether again they're just starting out or they're a veteran. So between the four of us, I think we each have something to offer to those individuals in the room. But I really hope what they take from it is that it just starts with just having fun in your business. I think a lot of times, especially as a business owner, you just lose that thrill for fun. And I think marketing brings that, again, taking pictures and savoring the moment is what that's about, right? And sharing that story. And I don't think if you're not having fun, you don't really get a story to tell. Some of the best stories are a lot of fun, right? So let's start there, right? And so if they take nothing else out of our panel, I think they'll all get to have fun during our panel. Each of those guys, again, just sharing the stories we shared just the other day, it was a lot of fun. And I think if they leave knowing that, go ahead, Jessica. Sorry.
No, I think that you made a good point in our prep call that like they don't have to overthink their marketing. It's just telling a story of their people and what they do. And I think that we need to express that with the panelists that they don't need to be overthinking their efforts, and you want them to take one thing away from the panel. It's that.
So, Jessica, what would you say? So Miranda and Eli are both going for their first time. Anybody out there that might be watching this that's going for their first time, what piece of advice, like what's one thing that you would say, hey, really hone in on this while you're there to get the most out of the experience?
That's a hard question. I'm usually the one asking the hard questions. I think just going in with a really open mind as a business owner, you have a lot on your plate and you might not want to take the time or maybe invest in the money to get away for those 2.5 days. But it's so important to take, that mental break and really invest in yourself and in your business. And we're not just going to be talking about marketing and sales. We're going to be talking about company culture and retaining your people. We're going to be talking about succession planning and what does that look like for your company? Are you going to grow? How are you going to grow? And things like that. So all of the things that you don't think about in your day-to-day because you're just too busy, keeping that cog moving. And I think that you can't just see it as another thing you have to do. You have to see it as an investment in yourself and in your business. And I think that's so important for business owners to do and to take that time.
Yeah. No, that's well said. I'd agree with you. Miranda, what are you looking most forward to aside from doing
the sand pearl?
The sand pearl itself.
I'm kidding. It is a great
You've been going there with your family.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah, what a full circle moment when, we got the invite and we're like, great, this is going to be, of course we love an opportunity to share. And, but then we find out that it's going to be in an awesome venue. We had taken our family there. This has been a couple summers ago. And we said like, no, we have to go back during the winter season. Like that's when you're supposed to go. So we are thrilled to be able to go back, and it is just an incredible place. But outside of that, no, absolutely looking forward to an opportunity to network, learn from my panel and other panelists too. Eli is going to be, just in
About the sand.
about the sand. Well,
Yeah.
the beach is really beautiful.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
that whole stretch,
whole
clear
setup.
water is beautiful.
Poolside service.
It's like kind of
Okay.
luxurious. We shouldn't say
Okay.
this out loud because it's a business event. We are going to be working the whole time. We won't get to enjoy
Yeah,
it.
while my laptop is in my lap.
Yeah,
I get the
But
service.
if you get
No,
10
it's
minutes
great.
to go out and have a daiquiri and one of their burgers out by the pool,
Absolutely.
I'd suggest it.
We
Okay.
have
Right
built-in
on.
pool time
Um,
one afternoon. We have lots of pool time built in one afternoon. So
That's when the best networking happens too.
It really is. Yeah.
You have cocktails, sit by the poolside.
Well, the restaurant there too is great. We ended up, I think it was
Yes.
the second night out to dinner. And I want to say it was 13 different companies represented at our table. And it was a blast. We sat there for like 3 hours. Great conversation. The food's really good, so
Mhm.
everything there, it's first class. The service is
You bet.
first class. So
Mhm.
so besides the resort and that experience, what are you looking forward to the most at your first time going?
Yeah, really, just getting to know these guys on the panel, a lot more. I think, there's many years of experience between
sure.
all the guys that I'm on a panel with, and then the other panels too. Miranda's panel is
Yeah.
gonna be great. Like, I think there's a lot of folks that are, looking at Pavement Group and looking at some of these other companies, like,
For
how
sure.
are you guys doing what you're doing
Yeah,
at
sure.
that scale, right?
Yeah.
And so, for them to be able to learn is really exciting, but, to learn just these different ways of doing things from all
Mhm.
these different companies. I'm really looking forward to that, and really looking forward to getting to know the guys on my panel.
Yeah.
Specifically.
That's awesome. That's a good point. This is an industry that likes to share. It wasn't for a long time, but it's, the last, I don't know, 5, 7, 8 years, something like that. A lot of things have changed and kind of come full circle. There's a lot of youthful energy in our industry. I've been doing it for 20 something years. So I've seen a lot of the change. And this is a good representation of that people want to show up and just give their time and share and tell everybody else, hey, this is how we did it. This is how you should do it. That's pretty special.
Mhm.
You don't get that at a lot of places. So
What are you looking forward to, Todd?
I'm looking forward to connecting again. A lot of
Yeah.
people that you only see a couple times a year. Some of the top school contractors will be going, and I only get to see them a couple times a year. So some old friends. That's what I like the most about it is the networking piece, and that my biggest takeaway from last year was that dinner and how great it was, and how many great conversations were going. I was sitting next to Steve Brainey. I mean, you can imagine 3 hours. How much you learn sitting next to someone like Steve Brainey, and he was
Right.
just telling story
He's
after
so
story,
great.
and I see him
Absolutely.
once a year, so I love that guy. So, just the camaraderie and the networking and the people. That's what I'm looking the most forward to. And sitting by the pool for a couple hours because it's going to be really cold in Boston by then.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
sneaking down to
Sure.
Florida is not bad.
So for these guys who have been before, Jessica, to maybe wrap things up for us, like what are some of the new things? You mentioned the closing keynote, right? That was something new
Yep.
that was going to
Yeah, to
happen.
have an opening and a closing. Yep.
Yeah. So anything else that you can look forward to if you've been before, and then
Yeah, so our closing keynote is Ramon Ray, and he's going to talk about date your leads and marry your customers. So really capitalizing on that sales panel that you guys have, and his energy, like his smile just lights up a room. So I talked to him for 5 minutes and I was like, sold. You are just going to just really energize that room. So when they leave Ignite, they're just going to run back to their businesses, so ready to enact change. So we're really excited for that. And then we have our opening network reception, which was so great. We're going to have a cigar rolling station there and just right on the beach at the Sand Pearl, which is so fun. But then we're going to have, instead of, having panels that go all day on that Wednesday, we're going to let people out, out to enjoy the day instead of keeping them in a room all day. And we're going to have lawn games and be able to have people network by the pool. And so it's like a structured networking event. So we can keep people together and get that networking time, but then they can also enjoy Florida a little bit more instead of being held in a room. So that's something that we really think is a learned lesson from year one. We really want to capitalize on their education, but we also want them to be able to enjoy Florida a little bit too. So we're really looking forward to this year and to seeing everybody, and it's going to be so much fun.
yeah.
Looking forward to it. It's gonna be great.
It's going to be great. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it as well. All good. So this media or Ignite has its
So
own.
Yeah, registration is still open. Yep, we still have room for people to register. It's at igniteconstructionsummit.com, and we'll keep registration open until the event. So hopefully we don't sell out and we can get everybody in that wants to come.
Awesome. Good deal. Well, we really appreciate you joining us. So it's December 6th through the 8th at the Sand Pearl down in Clearwater. It's an incredible event. It'll be my second year. Looking forward to going back. Can't wait to see the panels with you two and all the other things that you have going on. Thank you so much, Jessica, for joining us here and getting us up to speed on all things Ignite. We're going to see you again to talk about Payx, but that's in January. So
Absolutely.
well, not too much pressure on you guys. You got a lot going on this winter. Got a lot going on. So
A lot of
thank you for
fun.
joining us. And we hope we see you all at the Ignite Construction Summit. And we'll see you next time here on Talking Lots.